everyone back with the chapter 25 about fall and captivity of Judah. That's what it talks about. And the 9th year of his reign, the 10th month, on the 10th day of the month, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, basically king of Iraq, came with all his army against Jerusalem and laid siege to it, and they built siege works all around it. The city was besieged till the 11th year of King Zedekiah. On the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine was so severe in the city that there was no food for the people of the land. Then a breach was made in the city, and all the men of war fled by night by the way of the gate between the two walls, but the king's garden through the Chaldeans were around the city, and they went in the direction of the Arabah. But the army of the Chaldeans pursued the king and overtook him in the plains of Jericho, and all his army was scattered from him. Then they captured the king, and they brought him up to the king of Babylon at Riblah, and they passed sentence on him. They slaughtered the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, and put out the eyes of Zedekiah, and bound him in chains, and took him to Babylon, or Iraq. So Nebuchadnezzar killed Zedekiah's sons, and then gouged out Zedekiah's eyes, basically blinding him, put him in chains, and drug him to Iraq. In the 5th month, on the 7th day of the month, that was the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the bodyguard, a servant of the king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem. And he burned the house of the Lord, and the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem. Every great house he burned down. And all the army of the Chaldeans who were with the captain of the guard broke down the walls around Jerusalem. And he arrested the people who were left in the city, and the deserters who had deserted to the king of Babylon, together with the rest of the multitude, Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carried into exile. But the captain of the guard left some of the poorest in the land to be vine dressers and plowmen. And the pillars of bronze that were in the house of the Lord, and the stands and the bronze sea that were in the house of the Lord, the Chaldeans broke in pieces and carried the bronze to Babylon. And they took away the pots and the shovels and the snuffers and the dishes for incense, and all the vessels of bronze used in the temple service. The fire pans also and the bowls of gold the captain of the guard took away as gold, and what was the silver as silver. As for the 2 pillars, the one sea, and the stands that Solomon had made for the house of the Lord, the bronze of all these vessels was beyond weight. I mean, they were very heavy. The height of one of the pillar was 18 cubits, and on it was a capital of bronze. The height of the capital was 3 cubits, at lattice work, and pomegranates all of bronze were all around the capital. And the second pillar had the same with the lattice work. And the captain of the guard took Sarah, the chief priest, and Zephaniah, the second priest, and the 3 keepers of the threshold. And from the city he took an officer who had been in command of the men of war, and 5 men of the king's council, who were found in the city, and the secretary of the commander of the army, who mustered the people of the land, and 60 men of the people of the land, who were found in the city. And Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, took them and brought them to the king of Babylon at Riblah. And the king of Babylon struck them down, or killed them, and put them to death at Riblah in the land of Hamath. So Judah was taken to exile out of its land. So God was not putting up with their sin pretty much, and he sent them into exile in Babylon or Iraq today. Hold on real quick. Gedaliah made governor of Judah. And over the people who remained in the land of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had left, he appointed Gedaliah, the son of Achimah, son of Shaphan, the governor. Now when all the captains and their men heard that the king of Babylon had appointed Gedaliah governor, they came with their men to Gedaliah at Mizpah, namely Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, and Jonathan, the son of Kara, and Sarah, the son of Tanhumath, the Nephatite, and Jazaniah, the son of the Maacathite. And Gedaliah swore to them and their men, saying, "Do not be afraid, because the Chaldean officials live in the land, and serve the king of Babylon, and it shall be well with you." But in the 7th month, Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, son of Elishama, of the royal family, came with 10 men, and struck down or killed Gedaliah, and put him to death along with the Jews and the Chaldeans who were with him at Mizpah. And all the people, both small and great, and the captains of the forces arose and went to Egypt. They were afraid of the Chaldeans. So basically, you have a revolt in Israel. People of Israel were taken to Babylon, where because of their sins, of course, got sent into exile. And the ones that remained in Israel, they revolted against the Babylonian governor there and killed him. And the people that revolted against Babylon and Israel went to they ran to Egypt pretty much, because Egypt and Babylon didn't like each other. They were constantly at war, so Israel felt safe that they ran to Egypt and being exiled to Babylon. Some of the people were. Like I said, this Gedaliah, Israel is exiled to Babylon because of their sins. The ones who remained in Israel killed the Babylonian governor called Gedaliah. They killed him, and then when they killed him, they went over to Egypt because they knew they went to Babylon they'd be killed because they killed the governor. So they went over to Egypt. So it says Jehoiachin released from prison, and in the 37th year of the exile of Jehoiachin, king of Judah, in the 12th month, on the 27th day of the month, evil Merodach, king of Babylon, in the year that he began to reign, graciously freed Jehoiachin, king of Judah, from prison, and he spoke kindly to him and gave him a seat above the seats of the kings who were with him in Babylon. So Jehoiachin put off his prison garments, and every day of his life he dined regularly at the king's table, and for his allowance a regular allowance was given to him by the king according to his daily needs as long as he lived. So sounds like this new king of Babylon had compassion on Israel's king Jehoiachin, and he of course released him and brought him into his inner circle. They have a map here called Exile to Babylon from 597 to 582 BC. It appears that 3 separate deportations of Judeans to Babylon took place under the rule of Nebuchadnezzar. The first came during the reign of Jehoiachin, when Nebuchadnezzar besieged Jerusalem and carried away many of the treasures of the temple and the royal palace. The second occurred after the fall of Jerusalem in 586 BC, when the walls of the city were leveled and the temple was completely destroyed. The third appears to have occurred around 582 BC, while King Nebuchadnezzar was reasserting his control over the general region of Palestine, or Israel today. Now, this map, you have Elam, which is of course Iran today. Also, the Median Empire, which stretched from Iran all the way over to where Turkey is today. You have Lydia, which is also Turkey. Then you have the Babylonian Empire, which stretches from the Iraq-Iran border all the way over to the Israel-Egypt border. And then you have Judah, which is of course Israel today, and then you have Egypt. So anyway, Judeans, which are basically Israel, are exiled to Babylon. Of course, they went from Jerusalem all the way up to past Tyre, Lebanon, through Damascus, Syria, all up to Riblah, all the way down the Euphrates River, all the way down to where Iraq is today. So this is the map of that. It's right there. You see that right there. Elam, Median Empire. Let's get this right. Lydia, Babylonian Empire, Judah, Egypt. There you go. You see that brown arrow right there in the middle is the Babylonian Empire. That's where the Jews had traveled from Judah all the way up to where it looks like this northern Syria, and then all the way down the Euphrates River down to where Iraq is today. That's how far they traveled into exile. Very far. It's a very far walk from Israel all the way over to Iraq. So, anyway, that's final chapter of 2 Kings 25, and I'll be right back with 1 Chronicles here shortly.